Alright, my hair looks good enough to do this video, so let's go ahead and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, wearing a FedEx shirt that I got, I don't know how many years ago, but I'm going to say less than a decade ago at a bowling alley. A prize that I won. Interesting enough, my dad works for FedEx, so yeah. But yeah, some quick things that I wanted to let everybody know within this video is watching Andy Minio's interview he did in on March, well, at least was posted on March 26th or March 29th of this year, 2019, and also listening to his song Shame and listening to some NF's music and etc. etc. It gets me once again thinking about who I am in the public eye, who I am in my private life, who I am in my personal life, and etc. etc. As I've said before, ladies and gentlemen, that because I posted on my Instagram, I posted on my Snapchat, I posted on this YouTube as well. Made that particular video titled "God Knows I'm Not Perfect," because I mean it when I tell all people who love me, care about me, respect me, and or look up to me in any type of way. Particularly to all the kids out there who are of those young, middle school, early high school ages, etc. As I'm 21 years old. Actually, screw it, no. 20 years old, but about to turn 21, June 11th, as I was born in 1998. So that's how that goes. But I want to let y'all know once again, as I'm listening to all the music, taking in the interviews, I'm just inspired to just go and finally make another video telling you all. It's the fact being that I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. I have my insecurities. I have my issues, my whatever you want to call it. I have it. I'm not perfect. I did get baptized June 22nd, 2019, but that did not make me perfect and does not make anybody perfect because they got baptized. But it does mean that you've been fully officially adopted into the family, the spiritual family through the body of Christ, so forth and so forth. But I can rest assure you that also with saying that is that I still have my struggles, my fears, my insecurities, my you name it, I still got it, and I continuously keep working on it day in and day out. Honestly, the Lord has continuously blessed me day in and day out for more days of life for a reason, and I definitely just try what I can to constructively put those pieces together on what I can do that's gonna, help me, help other people, and help us all towards the further advancement of all people. Which again, if you look on my Instagram at NJ2TheCity music, and the other one just regular NJ2TheCity, you'll definitely see that's one of the top things that I post on a lot of my post is that exact thing, for the further advancement of all people. Because everything I do, for the most part, is for the further advancement of all people. I'm going to have to put that on some shirts and sell it. So, yeah, one of my mottos, for the further advancement of all people. I want you all to know, like I said, I have my scars. I have my hurt, my pain, my testimonies, my disgraces, my shame, whatever you want to call it. I have it, from the past. I have it from the present. I have it from probably what I'm going to do in the future. And I can rest assure you that, I want to set the best example for all you young kids as possible, which is one of the top driving forces of what I do on a daily basis. I've been, crafting it / perfecting it over the last like 3-4 years at Nice, to where people definitely think that, I'm a saint and can do no wrong. And it's not that, I can do no wrong, but it is the fact being I am an overall saint, or at least I possess some saint qualities. I can rest assure you that if not an overall saint, I definitely possess some saint qualities, and I just try to represent myself in the best light every single day, of which, I can through Christ, which strengthens me every day. And, it's not that I can't do any wrong, because, trust me, again, I've had my times in the past. I, have my time now in the present, and God knows what I'm going to do in the future. I try what I can to not do, anybody wrong, but I'm just going to, be blunt honest with you. I'm not perfect either way it goes. I try what I can to honor people and to show love and respect, but at times, things get caught up in a frenzy to where it's like, you doing what you think is the right thing to do, but everybody else is interpreting it as is wrong and it's negative and it's hurtful to them. So, I mean, again, use your own, judgment and discernment on these sort of things at times, and trust in God, to guide you and lead you to your better tomorrow, so forth and so forth. And I just want to let y'all know, just the fact being that I'm not perfect, and one of the top things that that sticks out of my mind, listening to some NF and listening to some Andy Minio, is NF's song, at the end of NF's song titled "Real," off of Therapy Session, when he said, I stand out because I wear my garbage, work my hardest, and every single time I look inside the mirror or look into the mirror, never forget about where I started. That's one of the truest and realest lines for any and everybody, period, no matter whether you're a musician or not. That's one of the most, top lines to always, know and understand and realize, and definitely try to, again, I want to say cater your life around, because I mean we're not perfect here, and let's not put out that persona that we are perfect, because we're not. Nobody really is perfect. I mean, we all have our qualities and our personalities and whatever else here and there, but nobody's for the most part just 110% perfect. Nobody is. That is a false illusion. Nobody but God, nobody but Jesus is 110% completely flawless and perfect. I'm not perfect, but I can rest assure you that I am a role model and I am a mentor, and that's one of my top driving forces every single day, is to put out the best images of myself, and even, and sometimes those best images of myself, have some, again, some scars, some pain, some drama, some whatever else, because I want you all to understand that, this is not me trying to put out, I think the word is called facade, but if not facade, just fake. Just use the blunt word, fake. I'm not trying to put out a fake image of Nate's just so perfect, he's so flawless. No, I'm not. I absolutely have my flaws, have my sin, have whatever it is you want to call it, my shame, my issues, whatever you want to call it. I have it all still to this day, and I keep on working on it to keep on, dying it down. God knows I have, things to back up. I have proof and evidence to back up why I do and say almost everything that I do and say on a daily basis. So I'm not proud of everything I do and say on a daily basis, but at least I have things to proof and evidence, to share with you all, whenever, whether it's on YouTube or face to face, of, what it is, why it is, and etc. It's just the fact being, learn how to share your truest, authentic, real self, to the best you can, piece by piece by piece, and show people that, hey, I'm not perfect, but here's what I, feel led to show you, to give you whatever food for thought that you possibly need for, for your better tomorrow, to learn from your past and not make the same mistakes that I did, which is one of the top reasons why I love all the kids so much, or whatever age group you're at. I love you all so much, because particularly for the young elementary schoolers and middle schoolers and young high schoolers as well, even though I graduated last year, from Nice. I want to let you know, particularly for all my young late elementary schoolers and young middle schoolers, but I think this probably more jumps into the middle school bracket. And depends if you go to a school here in Florida, it's 6th through 8th. Other places, it's like 7th through 8th. Don't know why, but it is. But going into it, I must say that I want everybody just to know and to understand, at least for me, what it is that I love the children so much. I love all my Valley Rich kids and all the kids of those young middle school ages, because, I want to help you all not make some of the same mistakes that I made, when I was your age, or even some of the mistakes that you might make being my future age, or being around my future age when I was 17, 18, 19, and so on and so on. I want us to all effectively learn, build, and grow through the body of Christ. That's one of the top things that I stand for, is I want us all to effectively learn, build, and grow through the body of Christ always, and that's why I try to, put out whatever piece of content it is, whenever it is, whether it's through YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram. I try to do what I can, because I want us all to understand that, one, we're not perfect, but then number two, we can still take steps continuously to keep learning, building, and growing, to become better human beings, and to just live the lit life with Christ, and just own it, live stress-free, live the happy life, live the good life, be happy, be a happy human. Not everything has to be scarred up. Not everything has to be, full of anger and anxiety. Not everything, but definitely some things at times. But again, for the most part, learning how to refocus and rechannel yourself and use it to heal yourself and to heal yourself and to build yourself up and to grow yourself is the best. Is the best way to change. Is the best ways to. The way I'm trying to phrase it here, the best way to, deal with the angers and the anxieties and whatever else you might be going through, honestly. Because I'm just saying, I mean, yeah, I go through it too, I in many cases, I mean, personality-wise, a lot of people might see me as totally different, out of this world different, but in terms of everyday struggle-wise, I'm very much no different than a lot of you all out there. Everyday struggle wise, I'm probably no different. Personality wise, yes, I'm probably am light years different, from at least what a lot of people have told me. I'm definitely, light years different from the personality and attitude, but definitely from the, sentiment of, everyday struggles wise of, yes, trust issues and doubt, fear, insecurity, etc. I'm practically the same, if not the same. I'm similar. Or again, I've been through it, and I want to help you get through it as well, and not make the same mistakes that I went through. You know. So like I said, I'm just saying, watching the interviews, listening to the music, it just continuously has gotten me on that path of like, let me make another video expressing my feedback on it, honestly, because again, I'm not perfect at the end of the day, but I want people to understand that my master plan, which you could say is God's master plan, is to share as much of my authentic self as I can, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever else, piece by piece, to all help us learn, build, and grow through the body of Christ and heal. That's what it is for me at the end of the day. And I want you all to understand that whatever age group you are watching this, that's what it is at the end of the day. You have to understand, how to be real, how to be honest, and other stuff like that. But don't think just because you're completely shameless about things and releasing just everything, whenever you release, don't think that that's what I'm talking about at all. 'Cause that's not what I'm talking about. Because the way I put it is that, and this is just my opinion, but the way I put it is that I live with more purpose than a lot of people do. I live with more purpose than like with being the role model and mentor that I've been marketing myself as for at least the past 2 to 3 years. I can rest assure you that I live with more purpose, passion, and not gonna say potential, but purpose and passion, because everybody has immense godly potential. But I literally live with more purpose and more passion than a lot of people could ever dream to live with. Because they're living a waste life within this waste culture, and they love their sin, through that or because of that, and so forth. And there's a lot of people out there who are very unapologetic about, unapologetic and have no shame about, definitely, throwing this out there, throwing that out there. That's because the way in which they live in sin has garnered, at least the way I look at it, has garnered just a very negative, hold on their life, to where it's like, you have no problem just throwing stuff to the wall, seeing what sticks, and just don't care, how it's fully perceived in terms of like, I wouldn't say in terms of popularity, but I would say in terms of like, I want to say reputation, heart, morality. So it's something that I probably, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but I definitely know there's another way I'm trying to explain that, but I just don't know how to explain it, honestly, at this very moment. But I want y'all to understand that there's many different ways to live life, but if you're not living with Christ, you might, again, definitely want to, you try to refocus yourself and understand that, you might be living a waste culture or a waste life within this waste culture. I mean, trying to explain it the best way I can. I think I'm kind of messing up a little bit. But yeah, I ain't perfect, I'm not perfect, but I try what I can to put out the best content in the best light that's going to help us all learn, build, and grow. That's the best way I want, and one other things I want everybody to understand is that, there's parts of my past that, particularly leading up with all this new music I've been writing over like the last few months, there's a lot of parts of my past that y'all don't know yet whatsoever. Y'all will eventually know once the music is released, but y'all also know through, stuff like this on YouTube and other interviews, which I give eventually. Because I want everybody to understand that, I have definitely, things within my past that, can and will haunt or predict my, my present and my future. And I want everybody to understand that, these things have to be cut out piece by piece and then shipped out to the public, rather than just throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks. Because I just, I feel like that's the worst thing for me to do with, with what's coming through, what's coming new, what's coming, out there in the future. And just know that, things are coming out eventually. And I hope that we can all learn, build, and grow with it constructively, instead of just shooting Nate down and saying, oh, I knew you was this, or I knew you was that. Like, no, fam, I'm a nice guy. I love myself, and God got me for better and for worse. And I'll keep preaching that and preaching everything else I've been preaching for even at the death of me, for everlasting life with Christ. Love you. More coming.